Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of Efurd Garage Talks. Now I've talked about doing this for a while, decided let's go ahead and do it. And I think I got a pretty good topic for the first one. It's going to be me solo. So make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification. I know you all like this. Leave some comments down below. Tell me what you think of this new segment. All that good stuff. So like I said, it's going to be this is the first episode of Efurd Garage Talks. And I'll probably have some guests and stuff like that and other topics. But this time it's going to be, Marketplace and the people of Marketplace. Some of the stuff you get on Marketplace. Now, I've been saving some stuff specifically for this because I thought it would be good, and you know what? I sell a lot of stuff on Marketplace, and if you do what I do a lot, you probably get a lot of these people that just make you want to quit Marketplace, that make you question humanity's intelligence, and just what are some of these people thinking? Alright, so we're going to get into this. And I'm not going to start with the best one, which was the first one, which actually, had me start this. But here's a good one. So I was selling a set of Flowmaster 40 series mufflers. And they are used, they look in good shape. And I'm listing them for $100. I think that's fair because they're what, $90, $100 new. And they look new. They're not, the ends aren't still welded on. The ends are clean where you can just slide the pipes over and weld them. So it's like you can just slip them on and go. Good shape. So someone sent me this message. You can order new for that. Of course, I reply, no you can't. $100 new each. There are two here, which would be $200 new. Absolutely makes sense. And of course, I left the link to Summit Racing, where you can see they're like $99.95. This dude wants to send me a link to a site where you can get them for $45 each. They're probably not Flowmaster brand. They're probably Summits or something cheap knockoff, some Chinese knockoff, or probably some Wish Temu bullcrap or something like that. But also someone sending you a link. It's kind of sketchy, maybe scammy. Now here's another one of mufflers, because I did the exhaust videos, and I decided to sell all the mufflers because exhaust videos weren't doing that great. It's a good idea, but it just didn't work. So I was selling two of the 9000 series mufflers, Spintex, for $180. Feasible amount. Now this guy, you can get them brand new for $100. Shake my head. Y'all always trying to be getting over on people. So I reply, you realize this is for a pair, right? Not one? And as I screenshot and sent him where it says pair of new 9000 series Spintex. And to tell you the truth, dude never responded after that. Because it's, I'm not trying to get over anybody. I try to make sure my prices are fair. Alright, so here's one. Makes you question what some people, why they're even on, they don't even know how to use Facebook Marketplace, any of that. Of course, this guy has messaged me before at this point, and it was one of those, is this still available for sale? Yes. And never replied, so I deleted the message. Then this. Because I get a lot of those, if it's still available, and you just reply and you can never hear back. Well, this guy hit me twice while I was at work. So I responded that day, which was Thursday. Yes. And it wasn't shortly after, because it was like 9:10 when he sent that, and I saw it, and I replied right back, yes. It was the next day at 9:38 a.m. that He said, what do I have to do to buy them? So almost 24 hours go by for a response to my yes. Which I reply, responding helps. You asked if I had them. I said yes, didn't hear back. Let me know what time is good for you this evening or weekend to pick them up. Fair enough, right? I think I'm explaining that pretty well. It's the next day at 5:55 a.m., which I remember this was a Saturday. What time is good for you? I live behind Mercy Hospital. So 5:55 a.m. I respond at 6:09 a.m. Not too far off. Most any time today, I'm off 71. Which everyone around here knows where 71 is. Delivered 14 hours ago. He never responded. He had a lot of those. A lot of those. Of course, then you get the ones that ask you what you described in the description. I mean, like this: the small block Chevy air gap intake. Will it fit a '93 Chevy 5.7? Yes, as it states in the ad. And you can see, it's right there. I put it in the ad. No one reads it. And I'm sure a lot of y'all know that feeling. And you probably guess there's probably more than one of those. Because, yeah. Alright, so the next one was a guy who wanted to buy a set of headers off me. And he saw something in the picture, which I took a picture of. It's not that I wasn't hiding or anything. Is that someone had cut a little chunk of it off. I think it was on that, the camper special I bought the part out. And they did it to clear the old dipstick tube instead of pulling it. Or lifting over it, because they had a long dipstick tube. Whatever, you know? And, he said, those will leak, all that good stuff. And I'm like, no, I mean, they won't. But, you know, he said that was his whole problem. Those will leak, I'll pass, man, appreciate it, though. You selling the wheels, tires, axles, frames? And I went ahead and told him, like, they wouldn't leak. That part doesn't seal anything. Because it's literally, you know, like, here's one tube, here's two tubes. It's right here on this flange that does nothing. There's a solid flange on headers to hold them from flexing from extreme heat. Manufacturer specs say so, or not to cut and tamper. I don't know why anyone would cut them, LOL. That's where I find it funny, because once the bolts are all in, where's it going to go? You have a good gasket, it don't leak. And actually, there's a guy in one of the Pontiac groups I'm in. He cuts his off to make them seal better. Because he can get everything lined up. Because sometimes things don't exactly, or not, in the aftermarket, not put together correctly. And we know this. He cuts them. And in fact, there's quite a few headers out there that are made without that flange between the tubes. And they work. But I had a dealing with that kid the day before when he bought the tank and sending unit, and he was just a know-it-all anyway, so. Oh yeah, this one right here. This is one of the weird trades I got. So the rear end out of the Dodge Ram, the 2010. Trade hit tub for it. Yeah, it took me a second to realize he meant hot tub. Because I had to look at the pictures. I don't have a use for a hot tub. I give 200. More mufflers. Is this still available? I still reply even though, you know, I don't really like to. What's your bottom dollar? $125. I don't want to take any less than that. It's new. $85. Now that just irritates me when I tell you my low dollar, then you try to give me another price like you're not accepting that. That's my bottom dollar and I'm not budging. So sometimes I like to go the other direction and counter offer that way. So this one right here, dude turned out to be alright. I guess he didn't buy them, but another pair of, it's actually the same Flowmasters as before. $100, got them listed. What were they ran on? I don't really ever see the point in that because mufflers are universal, as I say. Aftermarket mufflers are universal, they don't just fit one. I understand that. I just wanted to know if they were used, and if so, why'd you pull them off? Well, I listed them as used. Yes, I listed them as used. I used to make YouTube videos using different mufflers and different cars to get sound of each muffler. Why would I lie and say they were used if they were new when I could get more out of them new? Logic sometimes. So the next one is selling this small block Chevy Vortec 350. Now it's carb swapped. It was in that camper 35 with the dually rear end that I used for that muffler shootout video. I bought it to part out and make a little extra money. Now the way I was selling this was a complete drop-in ready-to-go engine. Because as a Vortec block doesn't have the provision for the mechanical fuel pump, I had an electric fuel pump that was already plumbed up to the carburetor where I could put a hose in a fuel cell or a little fuel canister and start it out of the truck to let people hear it if they want it. You see it ran. So this engine was drop-in, carb, intake, distributor, plug wire, starter. And like I usually do, I start a little high and I give me some room to come down because I know people like to haggle. 1,400. I figured closer to 1,000 for a drop-in small block Chevy ready to go. All you had to do is bolt up whatever exhaust you have for your vehicle and it would basically start as long as you had a fuel source and a battery to power it. But he started off this conversation weird and it confused me right off the bat anyway. So I can buy your carb and intake for $200. Confused me the way you worded that. Sorry? No? That don't add up. I horribly screenshotted this. But basically, like I said, the intake technically new is around... Well, the Holly is more than $200 for a new Holly. Intake's probably 150-ish to $200 for that brand. Some of them are higher. You might get lucky and find a carburetor and intake for $200 for Vortec, maybe. Vortec intakes are a little more sought after. A good Holly, good running Holly, probably about $100. You know, so he wasn't far off there to be, you know, but his whole point was, why is a stock motor without the intake and carb still $1,200? Which confused me again because it's not without. The intake carburetor is still on it. Without, intake and carb is on it. It's a running engine. Don't like the price, move on. That's what I don't get. Of course, you know, I go on, try buying all the parts, taking it into the machine shop, having all the work done, see how much it runs. Even stock ain't cheap. So if you have a stock rebuild, it's still going to cost you a little bit of money, no matter what you do. So just because it's stock don't mean anything. We know that. Things cost money. But if you have a good running engine, you can hear it run, you know it runs, it's worth something, especially if you can drop it in and put in something else and fire it right up and go. Because you can't hardly beat that. Now, of course, here's another lowballer. Black Venom 250 mufflers. And I hate when they do this. They just throw a number and they don't use a dollar sign. It's really lazy to me. And it's the way people come across when they're trying to barter and haggle, which makes a big difference to me. But we'll talk about that more after this. So he just put 100. So get out of here with your BS low offer. And I screenshotted where these are $139 each new. These are new mufflers. So that would be $280. I'm asking $250. He wants to offer $100. So I tell him, go order some yourself. Because if you don't like my price, you know, buy them himself and pay more. Because then tax is probably going to be over $300. Sorry, I'm just a broke joke, just on a budget. Thanks for the... So at least he admits he's a broke joke, but still, it's, So here's a car flipper on my Bonneville. And, I always look at people's profiles before I message them back. Because, let's be honest, if they have no profile picture and no mutual friends, it's probably a waste of time. So this guy, on his feed, was actually already posting fresh inventory in. I got this 60-something model truck just in, and it's this price. This one just in, this price. He's a car flipper. I can already tell by his profile that he's a car flipper. I know what he's trying to do. I'm in Tennessee. I'd offer $4,000 for this if you can't get your price, as I'd have to ship it or risk the long drive, etc. It's never the seller's issue on shipping or seller drive time. That's just part of it. I won't take $4,000. And it's true, you know, it's not the seller's problem. Because you're wanting to buy, like, I'm not going to drop the price for someone in Australia because it's going to cost them more than what I'm asking for the car. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to say, oh, it's costing you $4,000 to $6,000 to ship it to Australia. All right, I'll cut that price so you can afford it. So I'm going to give it to you for free because you're still spending $6,000. No, that's not how that works. Then he responds, everything is wrong with that car. You won't take it from me, but it's only worth $4,000. I don't really care. He's a car flipper. And right there telling me that I saw his profile. He buys them and flips them. That tells me there's value in it. Yeah. I do marketplace a lot, and there's always people freaking lowball offers, shadowing, leaving you on red. It almost makes marketplace pretty much... Well, a lot of people don't like using it anymore, let's be honest. It's becoming a hassle, a headache, time consuming, and some cars I try to sell on there, I get so many messages in a short amount of time that my phone almost glitches to where, like, the messages don't exactly notify as they should, because it's just like constant. And then half of them want you to give either your number, which is a no-no to me, because one, I can completely answer anything on Messenger. Two, all the messages are there, and there's a history of messages. Three, there's a lot of scammers that get your phone number to do things on Marketplace, so I avoid that. But also, if you want to call and talk to someone, Messenger has a call option. It's not the greatest, but you can use it. Also, in some cases, like recently selling a car, I think I got 30 messages in about 4 or 5 hours, okay? Half of them wanted me to call them. 15 phone calls. Now, I used to do this back in the day, and I remember my dad doing this back in the day. When people would want to call you about a car, half of them are tire kickers. They want to waste your time and ask you 1,000 questions about the car that was already everything described, because they don't want to read the whole ad. They're lazy, which is why they're tire kickers, and I'm going to buy it anyway. And it turned out that they're wasting your time. They want to drag on the conversation just because they honestly just want to talk to you. So that's half of, a lot of times I've been on the phone 30 minutes to an hour with a tire kicker. Because I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to sell. But they want to kick, a tire kicker. But so 15 people when you call them, you'll be on the phone all day. It's annoying. Half of them don't read the description because a lot of people ask me stuff that's in the description anymore. I just tell them, did you read the description? I don't answer their question. They can either read the description or go away. Now that might be kind of, well, I can miss out on a sale like that, is what a lot of people would tell me. I really don't care, because I don't want to deal with that person anyway, to tell you the truth. Because if you don't read the description, and I answer your question, the one question, and now I may have described 6 other things that may be wrong with the item. And they get there, they only ask the one question. Well, I didn't know this, I didn't know that. You didn't read. So, if I tell them to read and they don't ever respond again, saves me time. The other thing is the people that are like the car flipper. Well, I'm so far away, you should take less. I get that a lot. I don't do that. Because there's a lot of us we know, we have to drive for rare parts, find good deals, we drive for them. It's part of it. You can't expect someone to drop their price crazy because, well, I got to pay someone $1,000 or $2,000 to ship it, therefore you should eat that cost. That's not the seller's problem. And until the Rona came along, if you wanted to go to the store and buy something, except for online, and let's go back to before online, when you couldn't just order anything on the internet, you had to go to the store and pick it up. The stores didn't bring it to you. We've gone way away from that society, and people on Marketplace expect your average person to do the same because they're lazy and they don't want to leave their house to go get something. They want you to bring it to you. They want you to cut a deal because they got to go pick it up. Sorry, that's part of it. Can't tell you how many times I've had to drive for parts. It's part of it. Get over it. I don't know why they're like that. Marketplace used to be better. It's gone downhill. Like I said, someone comes at you with an attitude, usually you give it back. People expect a lot of it to be given to them. They're just like lazy, cheap, all that good stuff. Now, this is the first episode of Efurd Garage Talks. So I just kind of went ahead and did it real quick, no script, none of that. I did have all these saved ahead of time because I thought, man, I'm getting a lot of these messages. I'm going to make a video of it. Why not? And if people like it, I'll do another one. So if you like the Marketplace one, let me know. I'll try to save some more good ones, probably better than this, and make another one later. If not, that's fine. I can move on. If you like me just talking, we can do more of these. We can do more Efurd Garage Talks. We can have guests, other people, so we can have other opinions. Of course, we're going to do other topics. Plenty of other topics. But let me know down in the comment below what you think, if you liked it, why you liked it, maybe some other topics you'd like to see. I'm going to try to, I don't know, doing live stuff to me is kind of weird. I actually need to get set up to do live streams with people. But for this, I'd like to do this in person. Because I feel like there's a better atmosphere in person when you're talking to someone face to face. So if I'm talking to someone about a topic, I kind of like them to be there. I feel like it's better and more personable. But you get the gist of it. So like I said, if you liked it, comment down below. Let me know if you didn't like it. Also, comment down below why you didn't like it. I know I can rant. This one's unscripted, and I just kind of whee with my words, so I may have been all over the place. But yeah. Again, hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching.